Hi guys, how's everybody doing? This is going to be a general reading for Taurus. So general can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. So always take it how it resonates for you if it does. And it is a timeless reading. So even though the time, in the title says July 17th through the 31st, time is relative and fluid and timeless, right? So it could resonate, for instance, 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future, 3 months, 3 days, 3 hours, however you want to see it. So always keep that in mind as well. And this reading may resonate for you as well if you aren't a sun, rising, or moon, or even Venus Taurus, okay? Since we all have all 12 signs throughout our zodiac, throughout our birth chart. We have all 12 zodiac signs throughout our birth chart. I always, encourage everyone to get a free birth chart online if they haven't already. Even if you don't know your exact birth time, you can get a pretty standard, pretty, good birth chart and find out your other placements. So always keep that in mind as well. So we're going to get into your reading here in just a moment here, Taurus. I've shuffled all of your tarot cards and your oracle cards that we're going to do at the very end. But I am going to be going over really quickly, some astrology notes for this time period. So if you've watched some of the other videos or you're not interested in the astrology notes, I will put a timestamp of when the actual reading starts. Okay. Other thing I wanted to say too before we get into the astrology notes and into your reading is that whenever you see this message, it is meant for you. All right. And also I take one picture of all of your cards at the very end. And if you want to take a look and have that pulled up while you watch or listen or just see it up close at a later time, all the info is in the description box below, and you can just follow the instructions there to see the photo. So with all that being said, let's get into your astrology notes. So on July 17th, we have a first quarter moon. And then on July 19th, Vesta enters Libra. So Vesta deals with aspirations, plans, goals, okay? So it's going to be things like that, then entering into the sign of Libra that is known for balance and beauty, okay? So it could be something to, think about on that time period or around that time if you're dealing with certain things like that. And then on July 21st, Venus, which is for love and assets, right, enters into Virgo or sign Virgo, which is stability, organization, that kind of thing. And then on July 22nd, the sun enters into Leo, so it'll be officially Leo season. All right. And then on July 23rd, we have a full moon in an Aquarius. And then on July 27th, Mercury enters Leo. So again, Mercury deals with communications, electronics, that kind of thing. So it'll be leaving Cancer and then moving into Leo. So again, it'll be Leo season by that time. And then on July 28th, Jupiter is still in retrograde. Okay, so right, again, not all retrogrades are bad. They get a bad rep sometimes. Just wait for the airplane, guys. Hold on. Okay, so Jupiter, is still in retrograde. Like I said, sometimes retrogrades get a bad rep, but they're not all bad, okay? So with this Jupiter retrograde, right, it involves themes of travel, big wealth, not everyday wealth, education, religion, and law. And it's going to be, the Jupiter retrograde is going to be entering into the sign of Aquarius, which deals with creative energy, also reckless energy, no rules kind of energy. So it could be interesting note as well, okay? And then on July 29th, Mars enters into sign Virgo. Okay, so Mars deals with passion, creativity, but also anger, right? It's the ruler of Aries. So Mars is going to be entering into Virgo or sign Virgo. So it could be a particular note for some people. And you can always check out, again, if you get your birth chart, where your Mars is in your charts and which house and which sign and how that might affect you, okay? And then going for our last note here is on July 31st, Ceres is an asteroid. Okay, it's not a planet, but it still affects us. and it's Ceres is very similar to the Greek goddess Demeter. Okay, so it deals with themes of nurturing, food, agriculture, gardening, cooking, nourishment, okay, nutrition. But it also deals with grief when you talk about Demeter and Persephone, right? So Persephone goes into the winter months when she's giving up her daughter and she's in grief. Okay, so anyway, those are just like the themes of what goddess we're talking about. So when Ceres enters Gemini, okay, on July 31st, there could be some particular things going on with any of these themes I just mentioned, okay, but then going into Gemini, so there could be greater communication or talks around these themes, all right? And then the last thing is on the same day, on July 31st, we have the last quarter moon cycle. Okay, so that was just your quick little astrology notes, okay, Taurus? So let's get into your reading here. And I did want to say that if you're new, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back, of course, as well. When you look at the picture, and I will try to put also in the screen somewhere over here a small picture of all the cards, but I usually start with the first main 6, okay? That's for this 2-week time period that we're talking about. So the first row is around July 17th, okay? A little bit before, a little bit after. It's not exact, going through that week and that weekend. And then the last row is the last week and weekend or so, okay, right, of July here, okay? And then after we go over the main 6, we'll do the confirmation cards that are usually on the outside border, and then also what's on the top and bottom of each deck, and then at the very end we do your oracle cards, okay, just so you kind of have an idea of how I'm going to through the cards here. Okay, so I'm just going to call out which cards you have here, Taurus. So you have, hold on, position myself better too. I was in a weird position there. So you have 6 of Swords upright, you have 10 of Staves or 10 of Wands in the reverse position, 10 of Swords upright, 4 of Swords upright, 6 of Cups upright, and 9 of Staves or 9 of Wands in the reverse position, okay? I feel like you guys can barely see me when I sit more like that, maybe, so you can see me. Okay, so let's start with your first card here, Taurus. And anytime we talk about your reading, okay, if it's not your energy, don't force it. It could be the energy of the person or people you're dealing with, an organization or your general environment situation around you, okay? You're starting off here with the 6 of Swords upright. So this is an energy of having some anxiety or worry about something, a little bit of mental confusion about something here, you know, when we start your reading off with your first card, okay? But this person is really trying, you can see in the way that the card is depicted, there's like this Japanese man and he's trying to meditate, okay? He's trying to get his emotions under control. Anytime you see water in the tarot, right, this talks about controlling our emotions, whether they are controlled or they're out of control, okay? But he's trying to find this inner calm. He's trying to work through his mental confusion, anxiety, overthinking, okay? But those things are still there and still really being felt at this time when you see this first card here, Taurus, okay? Now, you know, I'll go into your second card, but then, you know, before we go to your third card, I will talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your deck here, of one of your first decks, because there is a blockage, I definitely feel, okay? And with this 10 of Staves or 10 of Wands in the reverse position, 10 normally is a completion number, so we would talk about, you know, being at the ending of something and beginning of something new, okay? But we really don't see that happening, right, because it's in the reverse position for you. So there's some type of blockage, or it just hasn't happened yet, you know, all the way that you want it to, because normally when you see this card, it's about a lot of hard work and experience, and now this person is going to get ready to, just so you can see it for reference, take all their burdens off of them, go relax with their family, whatever it is, and enjoy all the hard work and the fruits of their labor, okay? But when it's in the reverse position, it's really just talking about that blockage of, yes, the crow agrees with me, excuse me, that blockage of not being able to get to the end of a cycle or a journey or a project or a relationship or the beginning of something new, or enjoy your fruits of your labor yet here, okay? So that's why I wanted to talk about real quickly what was on the top and the bottom of your ancestral path. That's the cards we've been using so far for the main 6 here, okay? So this, anytime we talk about what's on the top and the bottom, this is energy from the recent past, lingering around underneath your reading, and why certain cards have shown up. So anyway, you have 7 of Sacred Circles, or 7 of Pentacles on the top, and on the bottom you have the Devil card upright. So the 7 of Sacred Circles in this deck is talking about really planning and stacking your abundance, planning for the future, okay? And in this like Native American depiction, you see almost like kind of like a Thanksgiving kind of table spread, okay? Getting ready for the coming winter, right? Storing the grains and what have you, okay? Or planning for a celebration or any type of planning, okay? And even though this is happening and this is going on, and this is a very positive, abundant card here, okay? Abundance is not just money, but whatever you want to manifest in your life, right? Even though that's here, there is some type of imbalance with the Devil card in the right side up position, okay? So this talks about your animalistic side being out too much and not balancing that with your human side, okay? So that can talk about addictions, it can talk about self-sabotage, self-bondage, those kind of things. So I don't know if you can see it in this card, okay, the way I'm angling it here, but both the man and the woman have chains around their neck, but the loop is open. So it's talking about a choice, that it's always a choice, okay? And we all have times where we go through that energy, and then hopefully you get it rebalanced, and then a little while longer it gets unbalanced again, and then you rebalance it again, okay? So it's not the end of the world, completely negative card just because it's called the Devil. A lot of people freak out, okay? But that's just like our shadow side, okay? Talking about addictions there. All right, so anyway, going forward here, Taurus, your third card, okay, back to your main 6 is the 10 of Swords upright. So again, there is really something that is possibly exhausting you, okay, with this anxiety, worry, overthinking, stuck up too much up in your head, okay, staying up late at night, even for, if you go all the way to the extreme side of the 10 of Swords, right, it would be depression for some, okay, but it's really lower vibrational energies, just like the Devil card as well, lower vibrational, not higher vibrational, okay, and so that's just not being the best person that you could be, okay, right? For instance, that would be a higher vibration. A lower vibration would just be, you know, not being your best self, okay? So there's definitely some blockages going on here, but I would say that, you know, just hold on, because just like in everyone's life, there's ebbs and flows, there's positive and negative. So if you're a little patient with it, there are some really good cards coming up here as well, Taurus. So I'm going to shift again because I'm sitting on the ground, and there you go. If I could stay like that, maybe I'll be good. So you can still see me, and I'm not sitting uncomfortably. Okay. So, going forward here, we've got another sword card here, Taurus. All your swords are out. Alright, so this is the 4 of Swords upright. So this card talks about, again, the way that it's depicted in this deck is a Japanese woman, and she's actually bearing a sword. She's trying to bury the anxiety, the worry, the overthinking. She knows that it's not healthy in some ways, right? Because it's too much in the mental, and there needs to be a balance between the physical and the spiritual. But she's still having a hard time because those things are still kind of lingering around for you. And this could be more towards, you know, the last week of July here with this energy. But again, it's not exact, okay? But we'll get into more why that's here and what we can do about it when we get into the tarot confirmation cards as well. But let's keep going forward. All right. And then your 5th card here some nice energy finally, right, Taurus, is the Six of Cups upright. So this talks about an equal give and take energy. It's a nostalgic energy. It could be there's issues from the past coming back up to be dealt with, or you are letting go of a past philosophy or way of life that needs to be let go so you can bring in a new way of being in some way. It also can talk about the role between, hold on, there's the airplane, one second. Is that could also be the role between teacher and student, right, is changed. Okay, so the teacher generally is teaching the student, but if it's a good teacher, they may even learn something from the student. So that could have a particular message for some of you guys. Maybe you're going to be learning something from somebody you didn't expect, or vice versa. Okay, you know, it is a general reading. But either way, there's still a nice energy to this card, a very abundant card. It's very peaceful, okay? And yeah, we're just gonna, you know, talk about that for just a moment here. But let's keep going forward, right, so we can get to your confirmation cards too. All right, so your last card in the main six here, Taurus, is the Nine of Staves, okay, in the reverse position. There's the airplane, hold on. Okay, so your last card in the main six is the Nine of Staves, or the Nine of Wands in the reverse position here, Taurus. So this talks about a couple different things since it is a general reading, okay? For some of you guys, it could be that similar to the energy that we were talking about in the beginning of the reading, where there's a blockage where, okay, remember you had 10 of Wands in reverse about not wanting to elevate, not wanting to get to the end of something, the beginning of something new, okay, for some of you. For others of you, it could be that now you are actually ready to get into that energy, because when he's right side up for reference, he's almost at the end, the beginning of something new, but he's really exhausted. It's like this coming of age energy here with this African boy, you know, taking a rest briefly, kneeling down in the grass here, okay? So when it's in reverse, it can be saying now you are ready to finish that end completely the right way that it's supposed to go, and then start this new beginning. For others of you, it could still be a blockage. You know, it really depends, okay? But I would say it still feels like a blockage for the majority of you, unfortunately, okay, right? But everything is in divine timing, right? There's a blockage there for a reason. So this is what we're going to talk about real quickly before we get into your confirmation cards. My spirit guides want me to tell you, you know, talk about what was on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, the Llewellyn deck that I use for the confirmation cards with the yellow border, right, in relation to the Nine of Staves in reverse, or Nine of Wands that we were just talking about, okay? So again, energy from the recent past and why certain cards have come up. Anyway, you have on the top Six of Swords upright and Page of Swords in the reverse. All these swords in your deck here, or in your reading here, Taurus. Let me see how many. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5. All right. I thought there was more, but maybe it's just the energy I'm feeling. Regardless, this is, you know, when you talk about the Six of Swords energy, it is an energy of movement, right? Of some movement happening, but also there's a lack of there's a lack of trust. There could be some betrayal going on, something going on here, okay? Or some mental confusion, anxiety, worry, overthinking, that kind of energy with the Six of Swords upright. So you can see there's 3 people on a boat, okay? And 2 have their back turned toward, I can't even talk, turn toward the man that's directing the ship, okay, steering the ship. Oh my gosh. So this is, you know, that metaphor or element that talks about not trusting in the betrayal issues there, okay? And also all the swords are still going down. Any time in tarot when you see the swords going down, right, that represents the more negative shadow side of the swords, okay? But there is the water and they're still moving, okay? But with your second card here from the past, okay, on the bottom of the deck, okay, you have the Page of Swords in the reverse, okay? So this actually talks about there could have been some type of small communication that you gave or someone gave, that you gave to someone or someone gave to you, or a small opportunity from the universe that was either not well received, put on hold, or just didn't happen, okay? And this could be due to this feeling of still being mentally confused about something, having anxiety, worry, and that lack of trust or betrayal in some way. Okay, so that could be why, again, there is this blockage here that we talked about with the Nine of Staves or Nine of Wands in the reverse position. All right, so moving forward, let's go over your confirmation cards here, Taurus. We have the Moon card in the right side up position. You have Page of Pentacles in the right side up position. And then you have the Emperor in the reverse position. So the Moon energy is not having all the information, not seeing clearly. And again, this is past energy. Lacking wisdom in some way. I kind of talk about this card when you have a dark room and the shapes look like different things, like the coat hanger can look like a person or a monster or whatever, right? And then you turn on the light and you're like, oh, it's just a coat hanger, okay? So that's kind of the energy of the Moon card. It is the representation of Pisces, okay? So it could be in the recent past that some of you we're dealing with a Pisces. Let's see what else we have. Pisces, Capricorn, Aries. Yeah, that's all I see right there. So those signs could mean something to you. You could have a lot of those elements in your own chart or the person's chart that you're dealing with, or it means nothing at all. So just pointing that out, okay? But with this Moon card energy, when it's coming in here and it's confirming the Six of Swords upright and the Four of Swords upright, okay? This is just confirming for us again what we already know, that you have these blockages, right? This mental confusion, anxiety, overthinking, worry, okay, depression, just way too much up in your head about something, and that is because you were looking for some type of wisdom, you're lacking some type of information. Okay, there are positive sides to the Moon card. It's a very creative energy, right? It's very dreamy. Pisces, even Neptune energy, right? We're still right now, as I'm filming this, in the Neptune retrograde. Okay, so I didn't want to say that Pisces is all bad or anything like that. So there's always positive and minuses to every energy and card, but really here, this is kind of confirming why you have some of these blockages, is because you really are trying to get more information, trying to find some wisdom. And it could also be because with the Moon card here as well, you can see that there's water here. The owl is flying over the water, that your emotions are kind of leading you astray, and you can't really trust your emotions at this time because you don't have enough mental clarity. All right, let's go forward though here. Okay. Now your second confirmation card here, Taurus, is the Page of Pentacles upright. This is a very nice, oh, there we go, I can't see, it's so bright. Okay, yeah. This is a very nice energy, a very abundant energy, okay? This is, again, talking about a communication. Pages are communication, right? It could be a small communication in the past that you gave to someone, that someone gave to you, or a small opportunity from the universe. But it's starting at the bottom, so it usually goes Page, Knight, and then King, okay? So it could be, people are watching this reading for different reasons. It could be a work You could have a new position where you have to start at entry level, or whatever it is, or you're in a relationship and you're starting from slowly dating, or then you'd move in, and then all the different stages of something. So that's also an element in this card, but it's a very nice, welcome, kind of peaceful, calm energy here. And again, this is from the recent past, okay? And it's coming in here and it's confirming the Ten of Staves in the reverse, or Ten of Wands in the reverse, and the Six of Cups upright, all right? And so basically this is telling us that, the reason, or not the reason, the energy of not wanting to advance in some way, to enjoy the labors of all the hard work you've done to get to the ending of a cycle or a phase or something, in a beginning cycle of something new, you're actually putting off that very abundant energy, that manifestation energy, okay? So that is definitely something to look at. But also, when this Page of Pentacles is confirming the Six of Cups upright, this is talking about this communication, okay, if you look at it this way, both the Page and the Six of Cups energy is a student. They're open to learning something new, okay? But also, when you look at it as an adult, and and we're talking about tarot here, that you don't, with the Six of Cups, I think I forgot to say this earlier, is that there can be this tendency to have this like naive way of looking at the world, like through a child's eyes, okay? So innocence is beautiful, right? And you want to keep some of that innocence, especially if you've worked with your inner child before and all that, and you're an artist or whatever, okay? But you don't want to like be completely blind or dumb about things, so you have to mesh it with the adult version, not being bitter, but being responsible, and kind of like balancing those two energies. So it's kind of very similar energy to, the Page of Pentacles here as well. But that's, I feel like the really nice part of your reading here that we've talked about, in regards to some of the good parts of your reading, or positive parts of your reading here, Taurus. But let's keep going, right? Because I always say there's always a lesson and a reason, and there's an airplane. Okay, so your last confirmation card, right, is the Emperor in the reverse position. Okay, so this is again past energy, and also a little bit of future energy. It just really depends, okay? But with the Emperor in the reverse position, it could be that you're lacking passion or creativity about something, or courage about something, or you're not feeling very supported by your support group at this time, or you don't feel like you have all the tools you need around you to manifest something. Hold on, guys, my foot fell asleep. Okay. Hopefully you can still see me. I'm gonna, gosh, wait. Put my foot that way, you guys. Hold on. Okay. I think you can still see me. All right. So, yes, the Emperor in the reverse position. So all those things I just mentioned, okay? And when it's coming in here and it's confirming the Ten of Swords upright and the Nine of Staves or Nine of Wands in the reverse, it's just basically confirming why you had in the first week all that anxiety, worry, overthinking, saying too much. Alright guys, so we were camera cut there. So we're talking about the Emperor in reverse, confirming the Nine of Staves or Nine of Wands in reverse, and the Ten of Swords. So I was saying that we already know why we have the Ten of Swords, the anxiety, worry, overthinking, staying up late at night, depression, exhaustion even, because the swords are going into this body of the person laying down here, okay? And that is because the feeling of lack of support, So that's the feeling of the lack of support or the lack of passion or creativity or courage in some way for some of you, okay? Also, it could be, well, I would say for the majority of you, it is that. But for some of you also, with the Emperor in the reverse position, it could be saying that before you were getting too stuck in your ways, right? If the Emperor was right side up about something, and here you are, you know, trying to not be too comfortable with something and be open to change a little bit, okay? But for the majority, I do feel like it's more the reason why we had the Ten of Swords, right? Okay, with all those things I just mentioned, all right? But when we're also talking about the Nine of Staves in the reverse position, this could be why you had this blockage of not wanting to come to the end of something and the beginning of something new, because maybe you didn't feel all the way in your power, right? The king is reversed on his throne, so you don't feel like you have enough support around you with your support system, whatever that may be, okay? Or you feel like you don't have the right tools around you. But, you know, I would always say that this is, again, divine timing. Everything happens for a reason. So you can heal and work through this and flip that energy, so then you can start manifesting it again, whatever it is, you know, you want to bring into your life or get rid of in your life here, Taurus. All right, so with all that being said, let's get into your quick oracle cards before you go. And let's see, 1 second. Okay, so your first oracle card is the Rebecca Campbell card. It's the Earth card, all right, and it says, learning how to be human in the world but not of it, okay? So really pretty. You see this woman floating in this kind of like crystal thing, and she looks like she's floating above some kind of planet or world here, okay? So I just wanted to read to you really quickly the little 1 or 2 sentences from this card, and if you want to look more into it, you can Google the card and get the whole thing. But basically it says, this is again the Rebecca Campbell Starseed Oracle deck. It says, do you tend to long for the stars or be more in the physical? How can you find greater balance between the two? Okay, so take that how it resonates for you. But let's see, yeah. I would say I would, you know, real quickly put that card. There we got the airplane again. I would put that Earth card, okay, with the Six of Cups energy from your reading, okay? So again, being able to have the innocence of like childhood and youth, but then also have the, you know, responsibility and clear-headedness, you know, of an adult, okay? So that could be the Earth, how to be human in this world but not of it, okay? But what else do we have for you? Your second oracle message is your love oracle message, whether you're watching for romantic reasons or platonic love or even self-love, is keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Okay, so that's always a nice thing to hear, right? Well, maybe not for everybody. Maybe they're like, no, this is my type. I don't like these kind of other people or whatever. But it's just telling you to keep an open mind, even if it's with friends or family. You could say, oh, I would never be friends with someone like that, or oh, I would never do this with a family member, or whatever it is, okay? But you might surprise yourself, or they might surprise you otherwise, okay? And this is also, if you look at it for self-love, to love your shadow side, your side that you say isn't worthy or isn't as good, okay? You can always find different ways to take these love cards and apply it to yourself. All right, and then your very last oracle message here, Taurus, is the honeybee, and it's really beautiful. It says, let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation here. All right? So that could be a particular message for some of you guys during this time as well. I would always say to check out, you know, if you want to, the Native American spirituality, like shamanic, you know, power animal. What does the honeybee power animal symbolize? How can I use honeybee magic in my everyday life? Okay, so that is something you can look up and look more into if you're interested. But that is your reading here, Taurus. So thank you guys so much for everything, for your likes, for your shares, for your subscriptions. I really appreciate all your energy here. And I also wanted to say that if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to, it is free. Just waiting for the airplane. Okay, if you would like to subscribe, it is free. All you have to do is click on the bell icon in the bottom right and make sure that it's active, and it will just notify you when I put out new videos. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much and enjoy this time period, and I will see you guys later. All right, take care. Bye.